Freedom. 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 Shut up. Freedom.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wise Aisha Talks. Today I'm going to be talking about a particular topic that has come up multiple times in my life with my close-knit friends and, people that I see in real life. I've never spoken about it, before online, but, now you're all part of, my family, you're my friends. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to get right into it. Let me sip my tea. All right. Let me get the question on and popping so that we can get right into it. The question is, can you still be pro-black even though you're dating interracially? Oh, sorry. See, I got even choked up at it. Okay. Can you still be pro-black even though you're dating interracially? I think this question right here, if you asked me this maybe 3 years ago or even 2 years ago, I would have said, hell no. But today, I'm saying something a little different. I've gathered my thoughts, I've explored the world, expanded my mind, been exposed to different things in my classes and, theoretically speaking and all that. And what I've gathered is, I believe that a person can still be pro-black and date outside of the race. Now, I'm not gonna say that, that means, at first, the first thing is who gets to decide what pro-black means and who gets to decide what it truly looks like. Because, there's members of the black community who date within the black community but are still having very much toxic self-talk and self-hurt and self-harm, speaking badly about each other, having friction with other black people or black women attacking other black women. So you could be toxic even if you're dating within the black community. So it's not necessarily the fact that if you're dating another black person that automatically means that you're pro-black. You could be dating within the community and still be perpetuating white supremacist ideals that really are toxic to the black community as whole. You could have certain practices that are toxic to the people. And so it's not necessarily who you're dating, but it's also what you're doing. Who you're dating on the outside can make you be perceivable. It makes you look like you could be more pro-black than someone who's dating a white person per se. But what you're doing at home, what you're doing when you're consuming certain products, when you're going out and purchasing certain things, those are the type of things that also speak value and volumes of how pro-black you are. Or, and I think pro-blackness just really means someone who's down for the black community and someone who's willing to invest in the black community and really invest in the expansion and the growth of this community. And that could be someone who's not black. And I know for a lot of people that's, kind of radical, but I do think that there are members of just the human race that can be pro-black, that can be enacting pro-blackness within their normal practices. But I think the ultimate proof of pro-blackness, it can come from a black person in their lived experiences when they're on their journey to truly loving their skin, who they are, their lived experiences, and loving someone else who's black. You don't have to be in a romantic relationship with another black person to show that you're pro-black. Just loving your mother, your sister, your brothers, loving your peers, people that you see in the street, smiling to them and greeting them and taking the time to really engage in positive energy reinforcement with your fellow black community members. That's pro-black as well. But in terms of dating, let's get into that. This is very tricky because, sometimes you could say once you start dating people outside of the race, more than often, you will end up looking at different issues that are not really directed directly into the black community. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but if you're dating a white person or a Latinx or an Asian person, you're going to be more susceptible to hearing about their narratives as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that also could say perhaps change your framework and the way that you view the world. You may not just view it from the black, perspective now, and that's going to open you up. I personally think this is a good thing, but to be pro-black, sometimes a lot of people have this idea that it means that you have to be exclusively black. But blackness exists in all people around the world, first off. There's black people everywhere in the world. Some people just don't showcase black people because of the, white supremacy, imperialism, colonization, the brainwashing. But there are black people everywhere in the world. and and people just hide them, or people are ashamed of showing their black people, but they're there. And so pro-blackness is not just always about the look. So in terms of dating, if you're dating someone, let's say, I think there's a difference though. If you're dating a person of color and you're dating a white person, I think there's a huge difference. I'm not coming for anybody. I think when you find love where you find it. I'm not gonna be out here saying no, but I do think that there is a difference when you're dating another person of color who has experienced oppression or systematic oppression in different ways, but like in similar ways than you have. I think it's very much more easier to be pro-black and to just be pro like let's fight this system. But if you're dating a white person, the situation sometimes ends up turning into, let me teach them about my experience, and that takes away from all the things that you could be enacting. Now, if you're dating a woke white person, that's a different situation. I haven't met one of them that's like woke. I've met people who like are aware of the situation, but not super like, oh yeah, we're gonna change the system. So I think that that's where I stand with it. You can be pro-black and date somebody who's not black. It's very possible. There's a lot of people who do it, because just like there's some people who date black people who are not pro-black. So that's what I would have to say about that. Leave your comments below. Can you still be pro-black and date outside of the black race? I really want to know. And I know some of y'all want, like let's create more black people in this, but blackness is expanding and it's changing. And what we thought of blackness is changing every single day. So the fear of like having to hold on to specific genetic makeups and like looks, that's a little obsessive and a little bit scary. So for me per se, I'm looking, for a black partner, but if I end up falling in love with someone else, like I fall in love with somebody else. And that's what's gonna have to happen, because this is just, we just have no choice but to live the lives that our hearts and our minds and our spirits tell us to live. Thank you for tuning into Wise Aisha Talks. Subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in my Instagram bio. Please follow me on Instagram and leave comments below. Please respond. Like, do you think a person can still be pro-black and date outside of the black race? I appreciate you. Thank you.